All right, welcome back. So my brand new resin UV light just came in. So I'm going to do the mini mushrooms that I looked at before. So I'm just going to pull. So remember, there were the little fungi stickers, of course, our sandpaper, the resin itself, its little wooden stand, the nozzles, dye, and more importantly, our stand, and this guy came loose. So if you remember from the last episode with my teapot, these are the next ones. So you will mix it, and it is small enough to fit underneath. So hopefully, and according to the instructions and what other people have said, this one was really powerful. So it will go through. So just a reminder, this is the one that has the teapots with the cute teacups, and I'm really still hoping I get those little kitty teacups that go with that teapot that I got. And so I need to mix in some resin. I don't know why they give you little nozzles when you have to pour it in. Oh, I guess that still doesn't quite make sense to me. And I just knocked some of my old UV lights on the floor. All right. So I have to fill it up to the little fill line, and then you take dye and fill it to the top. So we're doing the red. Oh dear. Okay. These things never seem to like to open for me very well. But you have to do the top of your candle first with your little mushroom. If I can open this resin, that would be... Oh, I switch hands and it works fine. Okay. So here is my fill cup. And of course you don't need much for the little base, so most of your mushroom is going to be this. So making sure you get just to that fill line and not go over. And I'm gonna put the lid back on and tip this upside down, so while I'm doing all of this other stuff, the rest can drain out, so it's not as hard to get. Now, it doesn't really... Oh, I guess it does show you on the how much dye to put in, because you have to fill it to the line. And for some reason, all these little tapes they put on really are hard for me to get off. I don't know why. And this little bottle is going to be a pain to open too. There we go. So, ooh, this is stiff to squeeze. Oh boy. Okay, so this little bottle is ridiculously hard to squeeze. So I'm going to use the spatula to try and get it out to fill up the container. Oh, here we go. I think I got it dripping now. Maybe. Sometimes it's a problem, these little... The smaller the bottle, the harder it is to get it to pop out. But this is very, very red. Now it looks like blood in here. So that's always cool. I might just have to do a few good squeezes with this little tiny guy. And I think one more good squeeze should do it. Or that might be all I need. Yeah, it looks like it's all I need, so it's up to the... So I'm gonna take my little spatula. We're gonna mix it. And that is actually a really, really nice red. You want to make sure you get all the way down to the bottom and scrape. This just reminds me of making icing. And if you don't get all the way down, you know that it's not going to work properly. So I'm scraping off my spatula the best that I can. And now we're going to pour it in. And I'm going to move the stick out of the way because I want to try and avoid it touching the sides where the white part's going to go. So slow and careful. Oh, there we go. So there's one. And as soon as ooh, this one is a lot smaller than the first one. So definitely do the bigger one first so you have less resin so you can have it stretch out skinnier so you don't hit the side. And I think I'm going to end up with more resin than I need. Yep. Okay, so I still have a bit extra. But I do notice it looks like there's some bubbles. So I'm going to just take a toothpick and just carefully try to go underneath and coax out these bubbles. Because the last thing you want is a candle that has a bunch of bubbles in it. I still see them. Okay. I think I've gotten them out the best that I'm going to. So before I pour in the rest of my white, I'm going to just slide these guys over here. I'm going to put the lid on that ruby red, and I'm just going to touch that. So this UV light comes with 2 different settings. You push it once and it does it for a minute. And you push it again and it does it for 2 minutes. So that's good intervaling to check and see how it's curing. It looks like it's a pretty strong light. So I do like to kind of sometimes do it in stages, just to make sure that everything is curing properly. And then do it a few times to make sure it's 100% solid. And with these ones, because I learned from the teapot, once the bottoms are completely solid, I will flip it over and do these guys from the top. So out of curiosity, I'm going to poke it. Okay, so it's actually pretty good. So I think 2 minutes is probably a good cure time with this, because that's already getting stiff. When I poked it with my toothpick, no resin came out. It's still squishy, obviously, and one of the reasons why I will flip it over and do the other side. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do with the rest of this. Or I could cure it like that. Actually might be a good idea for a mini one, because for Halloween it looks kind of like blood. I might have to think on that one. So while that's doing that, I'm gonna open up my little sheet of fungi. So this is, oh, there's some little hearts. That's adorable. So this is very similar to the cat one, and you will rub, oh yeah, you will pull them off. They're kind of like a tattoo for it, and you rub it on. So now we're just going to fill in the white for the bottom of our mushroom. And of course the little one doesn't take much to fill, but I'd like to make sure they're as full and even. Oh, that's too much. But that's okay, that's why we have the sandpaper. So my little guy got a little too full, but that's okay. I can sort that out after. You know what? Let's try to do a bit before. Sandpaper's great, but if I can take off a bit of layers before I get going, that is easier for me in the end. And then back under our little candle. So I'm going to push it twice and do the 2 minutes. And then it should be good to flip and do the top. I also might do side to side just to make sure, but because these are silicone, you can kind of squish them to see how they're doing. I do think its stand is adorable, and technically you could probably put little drops of resin on to secure them if you want to, but I don't know if that's something I want to do just yet. If I do use it in a little mini book nook, I'd probably end up gluing them down, so probably not. But I am going to get a pair of tweezers. So I did discover with the last one, pulling the little cover of your these little sticker guys off was a little tricky. So I'm grabbing a pair of tweezers. And it could just be because my nails are so non-existent right now that it's hard to get an edge. So I bought a kit to help make miniatures and things. So these are very fine tweezers. So those will definitely help. And then I also won't get these stuck to me and wreck them in the process. Okay, so I'm going to check. That's actually really hard. I'm really impressed. So it's a little sticky. It's warm, which is kind of cool. The top of the mushroom, though, is still squishy. So I'm going to pull out the silicone mold from this plastic now. And I'm going to tilt it sideways and just slide it under here sideways and give it 60 seconds. So this one, if you are curious, it's just called Let's Resin. It's a larger size, higher power. It does come with its own cable. If you are one of the C-type users, it's the same cable. So as long as you have a Type-C cord, that cord is actually pretty long. It works really well. I ordered this off of Amazon. It came really fast and was very easy to obviously set up. And it does recommend that you close it up when you're not using it and unplug it. And because it is UV, and I don't know if anyone has heard or seen things about the gel nails that people all have been getting. Well, some people have started to develop cancerous cells on their fingers because of the exposure to UV, which to me seems a little unexpected, but it makes sense. It's same as sitting it out in the sun. So you're getting the same UV rays, but you're concentrating it on your fingers. So that makes me really hesitant to ever get gel nails, and why my hand is not going underneath that while it is on. But hopefully this is enough to 100% cure it, and the unwrapping of it will go way better than the teapot. That is my biggest concern, because that teapot did not go so well. And then, so you can even see here, I don't know if you can, but it's starting to pull away from the edge. So I'm just checking. It seems okay. I can see the bubble from me pulling it out. So I think it's good to go. All right. Wish me luck. Wow, these are going to be tough to get out. Okay. Keep your fingers crossed as I stretch the UV. Or not the UV, the silicone. Oh, nope. There we go. So some liquid came out. So it's not quite set. I'm going to have to file on the white one now to get some of that resin out, unless I'm just gonna like to try and clean it up the best I can. Okay, so I am gonna try and do it upside down. You know what? Scissors. So I can snip these little ends off right now. And I'm going to put it upside down. Oh, despite all the issues, it looks so cute. All right. Oh, they are adorable. Okay. So happy. And there's just a little bit of red on this guy, so I'm just gonna file it a little to get to the white. but it might be stained a little red at this point. But I'm going to file the bottom first, so it's flat and will stand, because this okay. So there are the 2 little mushroom candles, and like I said, I'm just gonna try and get a bit of this red off if I can. You can kind of see the little overlap, but then again, I guess this is what makes my little mushroom unique. So let's put our little spots on first. So I'm going to start with a heart on here. Way easier to get these off with tweezers. You carefully pull it back, and there's my little heart on my mushroom. So I have kind of 2 big ones, a really little one. Okay, so they can have 3. So I think I'm going to keep the smaller ones for the little guy, because he will be a lot harder to space things out on and not look like... So I'm just going to put them on, and then I'll worry about getting them off. So these are actually really, really cute. And despite all the effort and troubles I've had, I don't blame the mushroom. I blame myself. Okay, so I'm going to start putting them on the little guy too, to make sure nobody's kind of left super unloved by the stickers. You know, sometimes you get so into putting stickers on a project and you're like, wow, this one looks so good. And then you realize you forgot about the like 3 other pieces that needed those stickers as well. And so you have 1 that looks great and 2 that look ugly. I'm going to see if I can do one that kind of bends under a bit, because I feel like that looks a little more natural when you have one that, there we go, curves under. Okay, good to know that it does work. And it looks so cute. So I do like the red and white mushrooms. I know there's another mushroom, and it's more of like a funky color mushroom one. So out of all of these, I'm kind of glad that I got this guy. Put one that bends on here too. I'm feeling like I don't want to put too much more on, because they're going to... There's such a thing as putting too many on, and that one just kind of popped on all on his own. Okay, so let's just start peeling these off. So here's the big one. And these peel off way nicer than trying to use your fingers to pick at the edges, because you can actually get up under it a lot easier and peel it off in a much cleaner way and not risk scratching it with your fingernail. There we go. All right. So there you go. Despite all the trouble, very cute. 100% recommend. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.